and welcome to Dialogue. I am here today with Shelby Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me.
Of course, happy to be here.
Well, Shelby is a recent film grad from Chapman University.
Yes.
She's originally from San Clemente. You work on the creative team at Fox Sports.
I do.
That's
yes.
awesome.
Recently.
And you're a project manager for Mocha Creative Agency.
Yes.
That's awesome. You produced the film Relentless.
Yes.
So this is a story about a young man with this promising sports career who is this expert snowboarder, young, like smart, just like on top of the world. And then he has this fall and he becomes paralyzed.
Yes.
So is this, and this is a docudrama, so
yes.
He's somebody you know, it's personal to you. Is he family?
So no, back when I was trying to pick my major, I was like, I need an internship. And he worked for an action sport company and I wanted to do content for them. And I became his intern. So he was actually my boss for a whole year before I even switched into film school. So I didn't even know I was gonna do film school. But yeah, we worked closely together and kind of only had like a, employee relationship where I'd clock in, clock out, never really talked to him. And then I got into the film school at Chapman, which it was never something I set out to do at first. I was undeclared. I played lacrosse. My dream was to be a lacrosse coach for D1, and that never happened. So there's time. But switched into film school, and then kind of really just thought his name's Marty's story was just absolutely incredible, and how it impacted me, even taking the leap to go into film school. I was it just made sense for me to do my thesis on him, and the access was pretty open. So yeah, it just all kind of tied in and just made sense to follow him around.
He was pretty much just concentrating on his physical well-being, and he said many times it was like Groundhog Day. He just kept waking up and doing the same thing every day, and he was getting bored mentally. He needed a challenge.
Pull it back. Come on now.
And the main sail. I need to pull this completely down.
No, dude.
Crack it, bro.
Go right up to my hairline, man.
I got you, dude.
I think I kept my cool in public a lot. Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. It was just such an unescapable hell every day, where it's I'm super, super uncomfortable and writhing in pain, yet I can't do shit about it.
So, how long did you follow him around?
The whole process was probably, I came up with the idea last October and it screened in April, and filming was about 6 days. And so,
wow.
Yeah, because I was so busy. It was something I genuinely didn't take too important, on my things to do. I just wanted to, maybe complete a little film. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no camera knowledge. I didn't know really anything. I was as long as I just get out of here and graduate with a film degree, let's do it. And it's just something where we worked so closely at our other company that was totally on the back burner. And then when it kind of became more serious, I go, shoot, we have to premiere this and we have deadlines, or I have a deadline. It was something where I'm text them real quick, can I come over and maybe film your day-to-day activities? So I kind of did that for 6 to 7 full days of following him around.
Because you followed him doing physical therapy.
Yeah.
It really felt like you followed him for
a
long time.
Well, and things were just so different as it was progressing. This whole storyline changed. We ended up taking him back up on the mountain that he last snowboarded.
I think we need to look at challenges in different ways. And find out who you are and how you can capitalize on the strengths that you possess, and how to use these challenges to propel yourself forward. Find the silver lining, and you know what? Don't waste any time, doing dumb shit every day. Do things that you want to do, love the people that are around you. You know, don't take life for granted by any means. If you got goals, go after them.
And that was a last second decision, like the week before it premiered. And so we were.
Oh, so you did this reshoot
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
So it was crazy how my story kind of went along with his, and just how things changed so quickly and drastically, and how everything just happened so fast. And
I mean, it's just this amazing story of resilience, right? I mean,
For
this
sure.
guy who has to go through this, he's paralyzed, he's never going to walk again.
Yeah.
And he just stays at it and ends up at the end, I mean, spoiler alert, but he ends up at the end actually, like, they create this contraption so that he can actually snowboard.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I thought about when I watched the film was the night that he fell.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a few drinks with friends, but that was sort of, you know, something that really wasn't discussed, touched on in the film. And his buddies simply picked him up and carried him back to his bedroom.
Yeah.
And my thought was like, oh my God, he might have not been paralyzed had they not have picked him up. And had they have just called the ambulance at the time. I mean, I felt like the film downplayed that point. And that was probably a deliberate choice.
It was definitely deliberate. I have hours and hours of interviews of him going over the story again, and like, even for him and me, like our relationship, like we're such close friends now, but during the time last year and even till this day, like he will never like admit really what went on, and he says he can't think of it like that if his friends didn't pick him up. He said, I mean, like the first 2 years was like hell for him, because he kept replaying in his head if things could have gone differently. That's the question I get every film festival I go to. That's the first question that they ask.
Okay,
would things be different if he didn't get picked up? I was just asked that even during the film, like the screening right now.
Right.
But it's, I mean, you have to put yourself in like his shoes. Like you can't think like that, you know?
Well,
like,
he probably also doesn't want to point blame to his friends. And the story that you told was so beautiful, because it was really about his resilience and not about pointing blame about these guys should have done this. But I thought,
for sure, that's a point that, I mean, he still talks about today, like, but I mean, you can't torture yourself thinking like that.
It is where it
over
is.
and over.
It's
It
where
is
it
what
is.
It happened.
Yeah.
Move on. Yeah. Move on.
So have you kept in touch with him? And he knows?
Yeah.
What's happening with the film?
Yeah, he's actually here. He's in the screening room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this whole film has just completely taken off. And like I said, I was never set out to do this. And
here you are.
crazy, it got nominated for a Student Academy Award, and so we got to go to the Directors Guild. And ever since then, it just has completely blown up with, opportunities for me and him. And so as of about a month ago, we're doing a university tour. So we've gone to about 4 universities so far, and we go and we show the film and we speak, and we kind of show our interconnecting stories. And we have someone that follows us, and they make videos, and people have been following along a lot on our website. So it's just become this huge thing where it's wow, I actually didn't realize how impactful his story can be to people, and it was never something I thought would be so impactful. I was oh, he's a friend. Now that I know him as a friend, it's oh, this is our daily activity. But when people don't see it for the first time, or see how he goes on with his daily activities, I know it's jarring and inspirational. And that's how I was when I first met him 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that has taken off, and he's currently writing a book now, and he started a creative agency, which I'm the project manager for now. So
oh my goodness.
yeah,
wow.
We just realized we just work super well together, regardless of even this film even happening. Before even at Divert Collective, the company we're at, there's just something about our chemistry that we just get stuff done.
That is so
work well.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, his resilience is an inspiration, and I feel
100%.
We get caught up in minutia and things,
Yeah.
and we forget to be grateful that we have our limbs, that we have our eyesight, that that we have the things that we have, and that kind of story could happen to any of us.
And I think that is the exact point that we're touching on, and why it's resonating with so many people, is because it's not oh, you were he was born like that, or that any of us could slip down 2 steps of stairs right at this next moment,
Right.
So it's just crazy thing about, and you would hope that you're take on life like Marty, if that ever happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, his attitude is just he's just so positive, and it's incredible. So
Yes.
yeah. The mom.
Yeah, she's here too.
She is, she has to do everything.
Yeah.
Right. And I can't imagine what it would be like to have to take care of your son, and to know that, he's not going to have the opportunities to go out in the world and live his life because he's now, and also, I mean, she would never say this, that it was a burden.
For sure.
But I mean, she has to get him up and bathe him and just everything. There's not, and I mean, that just shows the unconditional love of a mother too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was the focus on only showing them two in the film, just to kind of show that unconditional love between a mother and a child. And I mean, I have hours of footage of her even just talking about she can't picture being anywhere else besides helping him. They lived in Florida at the time, and then moved back to where Marty is from, which is Orange County. But I couldn't even imagine. I mean, I don't even have kids, but if I ever had a kid, I can't even imagine them being away, knowing that they're in that state. So, she's a true saint. I mean, to quit your career and have to take care of that. I mean, and they have 4 other kids too. So just crazy. Yeah.
And I imagine though, even though he has shown so much resilience, that it's also hard for him in those moments when he realizes that he's not going to have autonomy ever. He is always going to need someone to care for him.
I know. Yeah, I mean, that just with me, even just traveling around with him the past year, and just seeing that firsthand, it's truly unimaginable until you have to go through it yourself. It's something you can't really even think about or plan for, obviously, but
gives you perspective on life.
Totally gives you perspective, albeit, even just brushing my teeth by myself without someone in the room.
Exactly.
Just crazy.
All the things we take for granted.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah. And he was he's busier than I am, and he has to have a team to go do that. And it really does open your eyes. It's it makes you want to just totally take on life to the fullest.
Well, it sounds like you are doing that.
Yeah, we're trying.
That's so great. So what's next for you?
Well, hopefully continuing this university tour for the next couple months. We've hit most of the ones in California, but trying to go out of state currently. And right now just producing on-air promos for Fox Sports. That's kind of my passion too. And so I'm trying to juggle all three of these things until I have to pick one.
Wow.
So it's definitely been crazy roller coaster since I've graduated, but just super excited and hopefully making another documentary at some point, even with him on my team or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
We'll see. I know.
Well, best of success to you guys,
Thank
all of you.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you
I mean,
so
it's
much.
a really, really heartfelt, really moving.
Thank you.
Moving film.
He's great. I mean,
Yeah.
he's changed my life. So
Yeah,
yeah.
good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's it for dialogue, and we'll see you next time.